Good morning, students. Welcome to my English class once again. Now, today in this video, I'm going to start another important topic of grammar, that is clauses. So, before coming to the topic, very first you have to know that what is a clause. So, have a look on its definition. A clause is comprised of a group of words which includes a subject and a finite verb. A clause contains only one subject and one verb. The subject of a clause can be mentioned or hidden, but the verb must be apparent and distinguishable. Okay, as you can see in this example, I graduated last year. So, this sentence has a subject I and a verb graduated. So, this is a one clause sentence. So, we can say that a clause is a group of words in a sentence that consists of a verb and its object and may or may not contain the subject. Okay, guys, there are two types of clauses. Main clause, that is also known as independent clause, and subordinate clause, that is also known as dependent clause. Basically, independent clause, or we can say main clause, it expresses a complete thought. As you can see in this example, I watched the Super Bowl. This sentence is giving us a full meaning. While the subordinate clause, it needs help. Means it requires a main clause to express its full meaning. Okay, so you can see the example, can't stand alone. We can say that subordinate clause can't stand alone. It can't express its meaning alone. It requires main clause to complete its meaning. As you can see the example, after I watched the Super Bowl. This group of words is not giving us the full meaning. So this is the subordinate clause. We can say that a clause which requires a main clause to express complete meaning is called a subordinate or dependent clause. You can see the definition in this picture of main clause. All the sentences include a main clause. Okay, because it contains a subject and a verb. Have a look on the example. The dog jumped over the plate. This sentence is giving us the full meaning. It has the subject, the dog, and verb jumped. Have a look on the examples of independent clause, that is main clause, so things will be more clear to you. Halle ate a late dinner. Kevin went to the movies. Travis and Eric gave donations to help others. So all these are the examples of independent clause. Now move on the next one, subordinate clause, or we can say dependent clause. Guys, a subordinate clause, as I told you, that it does not express a complete thought. It does have a subject and a verb, but it cannot stand alone as a sentence. Have a look on the examples of dependent clauses. Guys, there is one more thing you have to know about the dependent clause, that it begins with subordinating conjunctions such as because, when, if, although, while, etc. Guys, a subordinating conjunction always comes at the beginning of a subordinate clause. A subordinate clause may come before or after the main clause. Guys, when a subordinate clause starts a sentence, it is separated from the main clause by a comma. But when a subordinate clause comes after the main clause, there is no need for a comma. You can see the examples. Because the door was open when it started raining until your father gets home. All these clauses are dependent clause. They require main clause to complete its meaning, and they all starts with a subordinate conjunctions. So these are the examples of dependent or subordinate clause. So guys, in this video you have learned about the definition of clauses and the two types of clauses, that is main clause or subordinate clause, and I hope that this is clear to you all.